35 years of regular skateboarding, and I'm noticing a trend in my life that putting on socks is something I push off until later in the day. Why is that, you say? Well, it requires bending over and getting at your feet. And I've had a number of interesting adventures in the world of abdominal surgeries, and my latest addition is a few inches around the waistline, which I've kind of resolved to just keep. Because getting rid of a few inches around my waistline is just, I don't think it's a good expenditure of my time and attention. I've done it before, and it makes me haggard. So, this is, my videos really remind me of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But I don't think Mr. Rogers, when he changed his shoes, in the beginning of the episode, he'd come in the house. I don't think that he groaned as much as I do. As I remember Fred Rogers, and I did meet him in person. I waited at his table one time in Winter Park, Florida. I was a waiter for a little while, quite a bad one. Hey, Jerry. I remember he was not a girthy fellow. And I am a bit girthy lately. I did the foolish thing one time. I went to an event in Cleveland, and they had a photo wall. And I posed shirtless at this photo wall, flexing my muscles, which are very small. And that created a record of me as a fairly thin person. And now I realize that the creation of a record of me as a thin, somewhat ripped person in that photo a couple years ago, it's created a false advertising out there. Because now I have, almost dropped you. I've not fully resigned myself to greater girth, but I'm definitely not planning on continuing to be a thin person. The age I am and the ambitions of my life do not lead to all that fashion six-packy stuff that's going on out there in the wide world. So, we got my socks on, but I didn't tie my boots. It's Tuesday, February 2nd, and we are down in the workshop today. We've got battery power issues on the phone. We're going to plug this in and hope that the power gets to the battery from this aftermarket plug I'm running. And, I've got someone wants to be in my video. I'm not doing that yet, but I gotta tell you, I kind of like it, and I don't mind that you guys do ask to be in the video. I appreciate that. One of my big problems with it is when I've done it before is the bandwidth just isn't there, and we get this herky-jerky thing. But in an hour or so, we're gonna have another cup of coffee together down here. I'm gonna go through my Facebook feed. I really like pulling things out of Facebook. I just screen grab them, and then I'm going to put you guys on the iPad. I think it's only fair to all of you for me to give you this view. The iPad's down here. That's up there, and this is where I'm hanging, you guys. If you ever wonder, you're against here. I just put you back here like this for now with this wire, and arrange the cord to the iPhone. Give it a little lean, and here's my favorite view of this place. I like the idea that you get a good view. This is not a very good view because it puts all the interesting stuff behind me in a real bad view. Mostly what you see is what I call the safety fan my favorite fan of all my fans. You know, I have a fan down here. I have a fan up here. I have a fan in this window and that window. I've got these two windows. They pump out. These two blow this way. And I have my favorite fan, which is safety fan. And the reason I call it safety fan is because you can safely reach all the way through safety fan at any time, running or unrunning. While running, it's less safe to put your hand all the way through, or a piece of your beard, or the bill of your hat. And then we have up top there, we have little fan is up top there. And all of this is in the interest of creating a nice current of fresh air that moves out. Now, I have not hidden from you, my friends, that one of my angles in this adventure in broadcasting is to eventually launch some form of patronage through which my broadcasting can develop and perhaps expand. Although I like development more than expansion. When I say development and expansion, I'm closing the belt on my pants right now, because I also like leaving my belt undone lately because of, people call it COVID weight, but during the big part of COVID, I was real fit and trim around the waistline, no worries. But I had a wonderful family move into our extra rooms here. And among them are two of these family members, 4 family members moved into our home. And 2 of them are excellent cooks with ethnic heritage. And the food is amazing here. And that's what happened to my ripped waistline. And good riddance, because let me tell you, the food at the house is excellent. Judy, my wife, is an excellent cook, especially because we often have 8 or 10 people at the dinner table. It's a great place to live. But now we've got these other 2, and we run 8, 10, 12 people at the dinner table every night, and the meals are insanely good. And I said, when this family moved in, I said, forget it, my low carb ways are going out the window, and I am going to eat the food. And one of the upshots when I eat the food is I gain some weight, and my right Achilles tendon is the first thing that tells me, bro, you're too heavy. So I said, shut up, Achilles tendon, you're doing heel lifts. And I started doing heel lifts, and I thought, I'm gonna just have to get stronger. Been hitting the gym, and I am not strong. Like 25 pounds, you know, just trying to recondition all my tendons and ligaments for like 2 months. And now I'm finally able to put a little bit of weight on, and I'm just doing the purple machines. I'm not even doing free weights like a real man, you know? And that's fine with me. Real manhood is not about that for me. And I think you know, I don't think like that. But anyways, in about an hour, I'll be back. And these videos are going on the YouTube channel. And I'm going to do a little bit of current events, what's on the Facebook feed. Because boy, it was rich today. I'm not going to go into it. And then I will be puttering around the workshop today. And I'm preparing for this Friday's visit to Life Skateboards. And my truck kind of took a dump. It's letting all of its oil come out. It's the rear seal. I don't know if you guys know, but the seal between the motor and the transmission. This one's had another transmission, not a new one, another transmission put in it. And that rear seal is garbage. And it started spilling oil, and I think it heated up the manifold on it, the intake manifold. But I don't have a coolant leak at the intake manifold yet. But I've been around trucks long enough to know that hot smell is not good for your intake manifold. That's where it gets hot that your thermometer doesn't pick it up. A lot of you probably know better than I. So I'm not sure what I'm driving to Muncie this Friday, but I'm driving something. And we'll see if it's the truck. You guys will be along for the ride on and off. I'll be broadcasting live that day, and we're just gonna I'm gonna do a mad amount of footage there and take seriously the opportunity to record a great memory set. Luke Coffey will be there. John Ryan Zander will be there. And Tommy Story will be there. And it's a really cool opportunity for us to hang out, talk, just big group hug. John Ryan Zander is looking into building himself, or for us coming and building with him, a full-blown board workshop in his new garage at his new house in Detroit. We're putting that into probably early summer or something like that. We'll do that build and video that. We also on Friday will be, so we're going to be scheming on Zander with him. We're also going to be taking this bad boy and making it into a template that you can order stock from Life Skateboards on Fickle Concave or on Life Concave. So this will go along with its accompanying prototype pattern, which I'll show you because I think that's why we're here. And you've seen it before. So these two things will be going with us, and you guys will see how Sam Cook takes what I do in rough form with a half pattern and moving that around. He takes that and turns it into a hard flat pattern that will cut those boards and make them available to all of you. And because again, this is a prototyping sister workshop to Life Skateboards, I'm just a friend of Life Skateboards. We're in cahoots. That is, I think, the official business financial term for our arrangement is cahoots, which I am loving. So I'm going to leave off here, and hopefully in this year we'll be able to shift into kind of a little bit more development. I talked about development and expansion. I want to get deeper and healthier media out there, and I think it finds its own audience. I think that healthy things grow and multiply, but healthy things also stop growing. They mature, and then they die. And I think that is a model. That's a model I had about my business, Fickle Boards. Tried to make it as healthy as I could, and it lived, it grew, and it died well. And part of it went as a seed into Life Skateboards and is still living. That concave and those molds continue on. And it turns out I'm a part of it too that went into Life Skateboards. And I'm super happy about it. So thanks for joining me for this little tiny vignette. This will go over on the YouTube channel. And I had my first two automatic videos went yesterday. I pre-recorded them because I knew I'd be gone. Yesterday I went and did a signage install. I do one of them a month, maybe two. On the months I do 3 or 4 of them. It's really fun. They're one-day shots, and I go in and I put in signage in a retail store, just one kind of store that I do them for, and it's just really nice. I go to a different city and I go and install some signage, and then I go home afterward, and it's super fun. I'm with my good friend, and we have a great time. So that's where I was yesterday. There are 2 videos on YouTube that went on yesterday, but I recorded them the day before, and I will wind up doing like B-roll stuff and putting it into a file for when I'm out, that there can still be like regular stuff, because I'm pretty committed to creating this content. So in about an hour I'll be back at it again. I'll have a fresh cup of coffee, and we're going to talk about what I saw on Facebook today, because it was it was great. It was superb. It's a great day. I love this social media thing where I don't have to look at the news. I can see what people are interested in. What are we talking about? What are we experiencing? And I can just pull a couple of things off there, and we can have meaningful discussions. But by no means are these discussions authoritative or definitive. You know, we're not going to say everything about a topic, and not everything we say is going to be right or wrong always. Things are fluid. I'm not a postmodern thinker. I believe in absolute truth, but I do not think that a lot of things are absolute. Things are fluid. A lot of situations have different perspectives, and there are merits to each of the perspectives that have to be contrasted. And then the personal opinion decision has to be made personally. And some ideas are going to get traction with a broader group of people, but it doesn't mean they're good ideas to me. And some ideas are going to get less traction with a broader group of people, and it doesn't mean they're bad ideas to me. The popularity or widespreadness of ideas does not make me satisfied in the personal sense of truth I have about stuff. So I hope you join me in about an hour, and I'll be back then. In the meantime, I'm going to putter around and mess with some of the camera angles that I like to get, and see if I can be satisfied with my camera angles. You guys have been right on top of the boom box on my little wire clip. Sometimes you guys are on top of the drill press. You can see my toothache bonnet here on my drill press with the broken light that serves as a camera holder. And sometimes you guys are over on the shelving above there. That's my favorite view. But I like being at the work table with you guys. I like to be here. This is a good spot. Thanks. I'll be back at you in about an hour. Thanks again.